Alright, so I'm going to work with you on getting this foldable copied and completed. So note right here that I've added some measurements to each of the triangles, and then what you're going to do is add these directions, these steps right here. So step 1, label A, B, and C. So looking over here, the legs form the right angle, so this is A right here and B right there, or it could be B and A, it doesn't matter, but the important part is that across from the right angle is C. After that, we're going to start with our Pythagorean theorem. So that is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And put the right things in the right places. So 16 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. So we substituted in the values. That was step 3. Now we're going to simplify the squares. 16 squared is 256 and 12 squared is 144. That equals C squared. And now these two are on the same side of the equation, so we just use that operation, add, that's in between. Excuse me. 256 plus 144 is 400. Still have C squared, on the right there. And then after that, the last step is to square root both sides. So what that looks like is we're going to square root 400 and we're going to square root C squared. So both are inside a radical. You got to do the same thing to both sides. That's always true. So then here, I'm going to break 400 down to the same factors, 2 of the same factors. 20 and 20 makes 400, and C times C makes C squared. Alright, only one can survive this square root radical, so 20 is equal to C. I'm going to go back up here and put 20 is my hypotenuse there. And that's all we have for the left side. And then on the right side, I've labeled that triangle with 10 and 26. Make sure you put them in the same exact places that I've put them there. And we're going to bring up our steps here, and they're very similar, with one small exception here. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to label these A, B, and C. So the legs form the right angle, so we've got an A here and a B here, or vice versa, that doesn't matter. But the important part is that across from the right angle is the C, the hypotenuse. So C is equal to 26. So now I'm ready to write the Pythagorean theorem, so that is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 10 squared plus B squared equals C is 26 and it is also squared. Okay, and now we're ready to simplify the squares. So 10 squared is 100. Can't do anything with b squared yet. And then 26 squared is 676. Alright, now this is where it gets different. This one says to subtract right there because they are on opposite sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to isolate the b variable by subtracting 100 from both sides. I have b squared equals 576. Okay, and now the last step is to square root both sides. So square root b squared and square root 576. So this breaks down into b times b inside the radical, and this breaks down to 24 times 24 inside the radical. Only one is going to survive the radical, so this is b, or the square root radical specifically. B is equal to 24. So when I go back to this triangle to say that this is equal to 24, that looks good because the legs should be shorter than the hypotenuse, and it is. So what you're going to do after that, you get this all completed and filled out, you're going to take this left side right here, you're going to fold it in half, fold that edge to this center line right here. And then you're going to repeat that process with the right side and fold this right side right here, this side, to the middle line right here. And once you do that, you'll have two blank flaps on top. And then there's your titles. On the left side, we've got the directions for finding the missing hypotenuse. On the right, we've got the directions for finding a missing leg. That's all I have for today. Thanks for listening.